Welcome to Laptop Radio. Today's topic is connecting everything to everyone through Global IoT Network. And we have Peter Saddington with us, and he is the co-founder of Emrit. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Michelle. Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to chat with you.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Where are you now?
I am currently in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is our home base for Emrit.io. All of our major leadership is here in Atlanta, which is really unique because generally leadership is found all over the place, but we are a true Atlanta-based IoT technology startup.
Awesome. I love Atlanta. That's almost my second home.
Well, you should visit us, Michelle. Come on.
I have. I've been to Atlanta so many times. You can ask Randall. I've spoken there for a number of times, actually. I've gone there a lot.
Okay. Well, next time you're here, let's make a party out of it.
Yeah, yeah. So let's tell us about you. What is your story?
Thanks, Michelle. It's a great question. Well, for everyone out there, again, this is Peter Saddington. I am a perennial startup entrepreneur. I've been doing it for over 2 decades. Though I did start out in corporate America with Johnson & Johnson back in the late 90s. So I did have my first experiences with corporate slavery. Oops, not corporate slavery, but corporate servitude. Oh, no, that's not the word. Indentured servitude. No, corporate experience. I had my first 3.5 years of corporate experience, and I realized that I would rather build for myself. And so for the last 20 years, I've built multiple startups. I've been blessed with a couple of acquisitions. Yeah, so I've written 3 books. I have three graduate degrees in the social sciences, and I worked as a contract scientist for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So I'm very data centric, kind of a data scientist at heart. I love data. I love technology. I love Bitcoin and blockchain. I first got into Bitcoin and blockchain in 2011 when I read an Ars Technica article in October of 2011 that talked about this development technology stack that had lost all of its value. And it didn't make any sense to me because as an engineer developer, I was like, how can JavaScript or Java or C# or .NET or Ruby, how is it able to lose value? And I realized after going down the rabbit hole that this idea was this new protocol called Bitcoin. And so for the last almost decade, I've been building ventures and bootstrap startups in the blockchain space. So my current project right now is Emrit.io, which is a convergence of blockchain as well as IoT, the Internet of Things.
So tell us about Emrit.io.
Emrit.io, we have a grand vision here. So we want to build the global IoT network of the future. And so to give a little bit of context, many of you guys might out there, especially if you're technologists, you have heard of IoT because it came out over a decade ago. And one of the biggest problems with IoT is that there was lots of device manufacturers, lots of productization, lots of opportunities to build devices and sensors, but there was no real rails or network to run on. And so you had this huge chicken and the egg issue. How could we create devices, but also build out the network that the devices could run on? And what the telecom industry found out, it was just too expensive to do that. And so what Emrit.io is embarking on is building the IoT network of the future and helping all of these billions of devices connect with each other on this wireless network. And so that's one of our goals. But the other goal beyond building the IoT network of the entire planet is that we want to get people into cryptocurrency and we want to get people into earning passive income. And so what we found, and this is something for me, especially as an entrepreneur in the cryptocurrency space, I've always been really, really keen on lowering the barriers to entry. Because let's be intellectually honest, Michelle, I mean, when it comes to cryptocurrency, there requires a little bit of sophistication to really get into it. You got to know about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, mining, hashing, exchanges, digital wallets. And so we always found that to be a barrier to entry. And so what we figured out here at Emrit.io is we created the world's first hashtag hardware drop, where we give out the world for free a $300 hotspot miner that is simple as 1, 2, 3 to set up. You get it for free, shipped from us. You connect it to your mobile device, you connect it to your Wi-Fi, and you immediately begin earning helium tokens or HNT tokens. And what's so awesome about this is you don't need to know anything about crypto. All you know is that you plugged in your cool spot that you can get on Emrit.io for free.
Mhm.
It's shipped to you, you plug it in and you start making money. And in the future with our mobile app, you'll be able to have fiat off ramps within the app so that you can trade your HNT onto a Visa debit card where you can spend that money immediately. It is powerful. We have literally created a money minting machine where we pay you to help us grow the IoT network as our goal. And so it's a really, really powerful trade. We'll give you the hardware for free, you'll make money on it, and you help us build our vision of creating the rails for all of IoT devices all over the world to connect and work.
So, Peter, why is this not a scam?
Why is this not a scam? Well, we'll have to tell you some of the business model. People often will say, well, Peter, how is it possible? Actually, I just finished an interview with one of our hosts talking about his experiences. And people will say, well, how is this not a scam? How are you giving me a 300 piece of hardware, which by the way, it, this is what it looks like. Maybe you guys can't see it because you're on audio, but if you're on video, maybe you can. But what we do is we do a very simple revenue split. So we send you the device for free. You get 20% of the earnings and we get 80%. And that 80% helps pay for support, technical support, software support, shipping and logistics, as well as technological upgrades and our very small, measly salaries as startup entrepreneurs. And so that allows us to scale our ecosystem and grow our company, as well as grow out the IoT network by doing our share.
Okay, so let me paraphrase that. So you basically ship me a hardware. I would plug it in and I would kind of mine helium
That's
and
right.
I would keep 20% of that and
Yep.
company because of your operation and all the costs that you guys incur would keep 80%.
That's correct. To many Americans and first world citizens, $25 a month might not seem like a lot of money. However, to 90% of the world, and this is one of our big visions here, Michelle, to 90% of the world, $25 a month is significant. To 50% of the world, 25 USD is life changing. And so for me as an entrepreneur, angel investor, and venture capitalist, for me, this has been something that I've been jonesing for. How can we help bring people out of poverty? How can we begin supplying what we essentially consider to be a very simple base layer of universal basic income for emerging economies? If we can give them a device for free that earns them 25 USD, that is life changing. Now they don't have to worry about hand to mouth. They have a mechanism that earns them money that they can immediately use a fiat off ramp into like a Visa debit card. And that can change not only the trajectory of their life, but in many ways is something that I care a lot about, is that could potentially change their entire family tree, getting them out of poverty, being able to use their time and their creativity to build great products, build great ideas, have a more fulfilling life. And so one of our big goals, obviously, is to get our free cool spot miner out into the hands of emerging economies around the world because it's life-changing money.
And what is helium worth?
Right now, helium is worth $1, I think, and 26 cents right now. But this is actually a very powerful opportunity to explain the tokenomics or the economics around this particular token. What we're talking about, guys, is HNT, helium token. Now, this is not a security token and is not a financial token like a Bitcoin. This is a work/utility token. And because it's a work/utility token, the tokenomics of it is linear in nature, not logarithmic or exponential in nature. And what does this mean? It means that the value of the token itself increases as a function of the amount of usage and expansion of the network, which means, which is really cool, is that the more the network grows, the more valuable the coin becomes. And what's really fun and really, really cool in our position is we are directly impacting the value of HNT because we're handing out hundreds of these per day all over the world. And so it's really, really cool business model where we can not only create and build the global IoT network of the future together, but we all can receive in the rewards of doing so and allowing and creating the network and rails for all these great IoT devices and innovations to run on.
Awesome. Awesome. So if I'm a consumer and I wanted to participate in this network, all I do is go onto the website, sign up. You'll send me a box
Yep.
and I'll start mining helium.
Yes.
And how do I get the money out though?
Great question. Through the onboarding process, when you get your CoolSpot miner, you will download the Helium app. In the future, you'll be downloading our app, the Emrit app. But right now, we're leveraging the Helium app. When you onboard it through your Helium app on your mobile device, you will create a wallet, and the earnings of that hotspot will go directly into that wallet. And so it's a real simple way to get into cryptocurrency without really understanding anything about cryptocurrency. All you knew is you got this device, you plug it in, and then suddenly the next day, after it's synced to the blockchain, you suddenly have some new earnings in that wallet. It's like magic. Actually, that's what I've heard from reviews from people who have we've sent it to, because people are very skeptical, right? We're almost behaviorally trained these days, Michelle, that whenever there's something free, there's always a catch. But with us, there really is no catch. We're shipping out hundreds of these every day. People are receiving them, connecting them to their mobile device and their Wi-Fi, and the day after, they start seeing some earnings within their account. Really powerful stuff.
Awesome. Basically, there will be a wallet, and as a consumer, I can go into the wallet and I can cash out.
Absolutely. Right now, it's a little bit cumbersome because there's no fiat off ramp in the Helium app. So you'll have to
Okay.
transfer your HNT from your mobile device to an exchange, and then from the exchange to your bank account. We're trying to solve this problem in our mobile app release, which is going to be in Q1 of 2021, where you will be able to provision your CoolSpot on the mobile app, receive the rewards in your digital wallet in our mobile app, and immediately be able to exchange that for a Visa debit card, or we'll be filling up your Visa debit card so you can spend that for coffee money or what have you.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the global network and why that's important to Emmet. So, why does IoT network need to be global?
Great question. I think it's important to give a little bit of context as kind of the inspiration for all of this. In 2018, Amir Halim, the CEO of Helium, was out South by Southwest, and he gave a talk about disrupting the telecom industry. For
Mhm.
me, this was absolutely a kind of a watershed moment for me. So if you're in the cryptocurrency world, you've probably heard many, many times that we're trying to disrupt the banking industry. Yes, cryptocurrency is doing that, in my opinion, effectively well. Where we haven't reached into so far, because there's a lot of gray areas, is the telecom industry, who do have a stranglehold on our ability to access other networks. There is no global cellular network out there, right? And it really is regional based. And so we want to give power back to the people. We want to give the people the ability to create a global wireless network that is people owned and has been grown and has been proliferated by people who are obviously vested in the interest of growing that network and receiving the rewards for doing so. And this was a huge opportunity for us. We said, hey, look, they've already created the rails, HNT. We can leverage these rails for our CoolSpot miner so that we can help grow this network and be able to give access to a global public network like never before. And so I always like to relate this back to a moment in high school when I learned about Tim Berners-Lee, who's the creator of the internet back in 1992, 1993. I was coding on Telnet and BBS, and I was doing all sorts of shenanigans with the early internet of sorts. But we never really fully understood what Tim Berners-Lee had created with this protocol. Likewise, with Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008, 2009, with his white paper, he created another powerful protocol called Bitcoin that is always expanding every day to new markets, new demographics, and new territories. For me, the way that I look at what we're doing here at Emrit.io is very similar. We're the Tim Berners-Lee group of people that are creating the world's first global network where everything can be connected. And you might say, well, Peter, I don't know if I really want everything connected. Well, you actually kind of do, because there's going to be so many opportunities in the future for automation of life. I think for us who are in the first world, that's what we care about. How can we automate things? How can we have sensors that pick up what we're doing and make life easier? One of the very simple examples that sometimes I tell at conferences is the whole idea of these futuristic movies that we've seen where someone will wake up and a sensor will sense them. Suddenly the shades open, the music starts playing, your coffee pot starts boiling, the temperature set at the right time, your car turns on to heat up. Like, All of this is possible programmatically, but right now we don't have a network that can connect and have interoperability between all these devices. The IoT network that we are growing, which is, by the way, the fastest growing network in America right now, and will be soon the fastest growing IoT network in all of Europe because of our expansion, we want to be the people who bring that to the world. Is that in the future, you have the ability to really automate a lot of things in your life that we assume positively will make our lives better.
How many people do you need for it to be a successful global IoT network?
Well, right now, Helium has deployed at over 14,000 hotspots globally. We intend to increase that by 100-fold in 2021. To your question, how many people do we need? Frankly, there's 6.8 billion, or no, is it 7? I think we're at 7.8 billion people on the planet, almost 8 billion people. Frankly, I'd love to have it in everyone's hands. Why not? Why wouldn't you want a free hotspot miner that makes you money? One of the interviews I did just earlier that I spoke to just a little bit ago, this individual got a cool spot miner from us in October, middle of October, and he's already earned over 600 HNT over the last 2 months. So if you do the math at $1.25, $1.26, let's just say $1, that's $600 that he got for free. All he had to do was plug it in. Oh, there's a little cost. These hotspot miners generally cost about 27 cents per month to run, less than an LED light bulb. So there's a little bit of cost. In terms of bandwidth, almost negligible bandwidth.
Let's talk about what is inside the box. I was working on distributed computation where you plug in your phone and that idle power goes to power cancer research. And we call that distributed computation, of course.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the old SETI thing that you could do on your desktop. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's pretty cool. And you earned reward on the app. I plug it in all night. I think it requires some kind of change in behavior. So with a box, like what do? We just plug it in and just leave it there the entire month?
You can set it and forget it. That's what's so amazing about it, is you can set it and forget it. However, what we found from user behavior is the usual user ends up checking it at least once or twice a week, just the mobile app, not the box itself. Because once you plug in the box and you connect it to your Wi-Fi or your Ethernet, it pretty much just runs on its own. And so what I'm talking about in terms of checking are people generally check their mobile app about maybe once or twice a week just to check their earnings and see what they're earning with their miner.
Okay, awesome. I just had a thought about having an avatar there so you can check like a person.
Ooh, we could do that. We could build some sort of cool like avatar or something like that.
Yeah, you can name the box and then you can check the avatar in the app.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. In terms of privacy, I'm really skeptical because of Alexa. I didn't plug it in the office,
Sure.
even though I use it sometimes to read books. And with the box, I mean, there's no privacy issues in there
Nope.
that basically spy on us, no cameras, and kind of like
Nope, there's no microphone, there's no cameras, there's nothing that would give up your identity or your security. When it comes to connecting to the internet, we're only opening up one port, which is safe. In terms of the hardware, we make sure that all of the boxes, no security issues, no privacy issues, and almost near close to almost any hackability issues. So there's not a whole lot of fanfare to it. It's just a couple of chips and making, the chips to connect to the internet and to make sure that it can connect to the blockchain.
Okay, awesome. In about 6 months or even a year, what are your vision in terms of the company?
Great question. Well, in 2021, we have some great announcements that we're going to be announcing. First and foremost, we're going to be revealing our RDP or our host dashboard version 2. Now, what does that mean to everyone out there? Essentially, we are revamping our current host dashboard. So if you are a host, you've ordered a cool spot from us from Emrit.io, we're giving you better data analytics on how you can earn more for your spot. We have people, for example, I have one guy out in the UK who's ordered over 200 of these from us, and we gave him all 200 for free just so he can help support the network. And obviously, if you do the math, he's earning a pretty penny from this. And so we're going to be releasing our version 2 of our host dashboard in Q1. We're also releasing our first iteration of our mobile app, which is really cool because not only are you going to be able to manage your cool spot on the mobile app, but you'll also be able to do cryptocurrency exchanges with your favorite cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, USDT, Algorand, obviously HNT, Helium, as well as part of our mobile app is we're creating the world's first IoT marketplace. And so you can think of that as kind of like an app store where in the application itself, you can use your cryptocurrency earnings and immediately buy devices that you can use for your house or your home or your car or security tracking devices and these types of things. So that's going to be coming out in Q1 of 2021 as well. But even more so, one thing that I'm really super excited about are our global meetups and our global gatherings that we're going to be doing in 2021. We have users and hosts and community members all over the world. And what we want to do is we want to support them even more. And so we're going to be traveling out, hopefully, if all the travel restrictions and all the craziness that's going on with all that settles down a little bit, we'll be able to start reaching out and meeting all of the wonderful community members that we have all over the world in their locations, like Tokyo, like Korea, like London, obviously San Francisco, New York, Dallas, Texas. We want to come out and see you guys, and we want to help support you guys and your growth and our growth together of this global IoT network.
I wanted to ask you about community since you mentioned meetups and helping together and collaboration and having a number of hosts. So, how would your ideal community look like?
Ooh, well, you're talking to a seasoned veteran entrepreneur who has spent a ton of time in learning how to build community for over a decade and a half through multiple startups. And my third book that I published was, and I can give this to you for free, Michelle, the third book that I published was on how to build a digital community online. And
Wow.
so community to us means the world. I would go even farther and say that as a startup entrepreneur, a startup operator, if you don't know how to build community, you have lost one of your biggest competitive advantages. And so for us, community is everything. For us, supporting the community, helping them grow, helping them level up, finding opportunities where they can volunteer and give more time to this project and to find opportunities to apply their passion or their interests is something that I am absolutely all about. For those that don't know me, I love helping people level up. That's just something that I've always been. I love serving, helping grow people. I believe that everyone out there has not yet reached their full potential. And so for me, that's just something that excites me. So I love helping people. I love helping our community grow. Join our Discord for Emrit. You can join our community and learn from our community as to how to earn more HNT and more rewards from our cool spots. And we have such a great community that loves to help each other out and loves to grow together.
Awesome. If I were to join one of your community or go to one of your meetup, what would be the topic of discussion? Would it be IoT? Would it be playing with the boxes?
Well, great question. In many ways, we're there to show support. So obviously, we want to make sure that your belly is full and that you have a great time meeting other community members. There'll be several what we call affectionately lightning talks, which are 15 minutes long, about how you can earn more. So very tactical things on how you can earn more from your cool spot, how you can grow your own earnings, how you tips on how to get your family and friends into it, because there's a referral opportunity, and the referral opportunity is only one scale. So there's no MLM or anything like that. But essentially, if you send a referral to one of your friends, you can earn 5% of their rewards for the first year. And so that's just a really great way to get your family and friends on board to a free hotspot miner that makes them money. And all they have to do is plug it in and earn away. And so obviously during our meetups, we'll give tips and tricks on how to do that and overcome some of the educational barriers, especially when people ask questions around what is this cryptocurrency? I don't get it, right? So there's educational opportunities there as well.
Awesome. So you're saying that my grandma could use this just by plugging the device in.
Actually, my son and my grandfather were both able to do it, and they're both still in diapers.
That's true. There's regulation in the crypto space, and I
Oh,
think a
for
lot
sure.
of people are really afraid of regulations. Is your system or the ecosystem of how everything works, is it legal?
Yes, it certainly is. We are using a frequency that is not able to be quote unquote fully regulated. It's a free frequency of sorts. And so the only real concern is licensing in every country. So for example, if I had it my way, we would be able to license these things in India right now, because that is a huge economy that we would love to have them get their hands on our free boxes and life-changing 25 USD per month. And so the biggest constraint for us isn't any of the legal considerations, from whether it's dangerous or whether it, the whole thing's around 5G, whether it's going to fry you like a microwave. None of that's there. It really is just a licensing issue in every country. So we're continually expanding. We're in over 30 countries right now. Helium totals in over 50 countries. So we're expanding to new countries every month, and the demand is really, really high, and we're really excited about it.
You're dependent and your partner is Helium Network. What if Helium goes down? Like, what would you do?
Great question. Helium has been around for over 8 years. And
Mhm.
so they've only just recently essentially allowed entities like us, like Emrit, to begin building hotspot miners for their network. It's only been about over a year or so. And so they've been a project, cryptocurrency project, that's been around for almost a decade. We believe that they have the right leadership, they have the right financial backing, which actually we're investors in Helium. So there's a lot of value for them to stay and continue to grow. And we've written about that in our business plan, being very transparent about that. We are original investors in the project itself. But we don't expect Helium to go away. It is the largest growing network right now in America. Lots and lots of IoT device manufacturers, product designers are hitting us up and letting us know that they need this wireless network. They need the rails to run their applications on, as well as their devices on. And we've partnered with some of the biggest actually the biggest players in the IoT space, and they're going to be leveraging Emrit as the rails for their devices. And so we don't see it going away. Obviously, I'm no soothsayer, no fortune teller. I don't know the future, but I would say the future looks pretty solid, and we don't see any signs of slowing down.
How is this similar to Pi Network?
Oh, well, Pi Network is a network where they simply can connect with each other and run and create a network together. This is based on the Pi technology. So there's basically a Raspberry Pi in here. So it's very similar in that nature.
Awesome. Awesome. And do you have anything you wanted to share that I have not asked you?
No, not necessarily, other than the fact that we would love to invite all of your listeners, all of your viewers, to check out emrit.io. You can also follow me on Twitter at AgilePeters, and you can see what we're all about. We do daily vlogs around what's going on with our company. We're being radically transparent. Actually, I'd love to tell you guys about our internal Emrit culture mantra, which reveals a lot about kind of our hearts. Our internal culture mantra at Emrit is: we are all our own leaders. We are all our own leaders, serving humankind, and activating human potential by being radically transparent, innovative, and adaptive. And I think that's really, really important for all your listeners to know, is that we believe everyone at our company, which is almost 20 plus now, it's probably by the end of 2021, probably over 50 people. We believe that all of us are our own leaders, this whole idea of personal responsibility, and we want to activate human potential. How do we do that? By giving the opportunity to make financial gain at very low cost. And for many, again, for 50% of the world, that's life-changing money. So we want to activate human potential and help people and serve humankind by being transparent around what we're doing. So radical transparency is one of the tenets and values of our company. We have to be innovative. We desire to be the tip of the spear, the ones that are leading the charge in growing the global IoT network. And we also have to be adaptive to change, because it's important. There's so much is changing in the markets, cryptocurrency. There's just so much to stay abreast on and stay up to date on. It's important that we make that clear, that we are an innovative company and constantly pushing the needle and helping all of our partners as well create really great products and really great services for the future of the IoT consumer.
Let me ask you about the connection between human evolution
Hmm.
and global IoT network, because I just want to emphasize that you have a hardware and then you have this philosophy that drives your value about growth and change and innovation. How is
Mhm.
it really connected to a simple box?
Well, the simple connection would be the pragmatic value of the box itself. People are receiving a $300 box that earns them money essentially for free. We believe that this particular business model, right? One of the things that Google and like Facebook, for example, revealed to us was this free productization model.
Mhm.
where you get all the products from Google and you get all the products from Facebook for free. But what we realized later is that you're actually the product because they're sucking down all your data, your privacy, and all your information. So Google gave us this free productization model. What we believe we've created is the world's first get free, get paid model, where not only do we give you the hardware and the tools and the software for free, but you also get paid for participating. And this new model, we believe, is going to change the face of the planet. Now, you and I talked about this before we pressed the record button, and you said, well, every startup I talk to says they're going to change the world. Yes, I get that. But our model is actually working. Our model has actually been proven. We have traction. We are growing by leaps and bounds, and we are getting so much feedback all over the world that people are loving what we're doing. They're getting free HNT. They're able to cash it out in a little arduous fashion right now because they have to go to an exchange, but we're going to make that easy in the future. But for many people, it's the right timing, especially with COVID and everything that's going on. People are looking for passive income opportunities, other ways to earn money online. And this is one of those really low risk opportunities because you're getting it for free. Why not? Check it out. Go to emrit.io, get the hardware device. It's incumbent upon you to plug it in. But once you experience it and once you start getting some gains and once you start receiving some rewards, I think you're going to start thinking differently about this opportunity. And I would hope for most of your listeners, after that, they would want to order more because you can order as many as you want from me for free, and I'll give it to you.
In Web 1.0, there's a free model where, like Facebook and Google, where you can search things for free and you can go and connect with your friends. Facebook, right, for free.
Mhm.
About 10 years later, or a couple of years later, it looks like they're using our data and they're selling it and they're exploiting and extracting it, right?
Yes.
I feel like there is a new movement, and we call it decentralization, where there is participation model or incentivization model where people are building the next generation of the internet and hopefully taking the lessons that we learned from Web 1.0 and rewarding participants who contribute to the network. And that's becoming more and more important. So
Absolutely.
you're telling me that you're doing this with hardware and IoT, not just
Yes.
software and platforms.
That's what makes us really real. Most of the projects out there, especially in the cryptocurrency space, are software only. It could be vaporware. It could be a scam. There's no way that we would ever, number one, want to follow any of those types of models. But for us, we actually are really proud of the fact that we are one of the few cryptocurrency projects out there, of the thousands that are out there, with a real use case, use cases. We have hundreds of them now because IoT devices are everywhere, from measuring water to measuring air quality. We have a partnership with Nestle where when you have the Nestle boxes of coffee, when you start getting to the very end, there'll be a little chip there. When you pick up that little pod, the chip will register that the pod has been used up and it immediately can fulfill a new order. We have these type of partnerships and we give out real hardware. You're getting an actual device for free. And so we're really proud of this fact that we're one of the few cryptocurrencies out there, not only with traction and real world use cases, but you actually get a tangible asset instead of all this digital software stuff. And so it really is, we believe we have some of the strongest traction out there of other cryptocurrency startups because we've figured out the model, how to get hardware into people's hands for free, how to get them participating in the network expansion for free, and we are rewarding them for doing so.
And you won't extract the data later like Facebook or Google a few
We
years.
don't care about your data that much. We want you to help us provide the rails for the global IoT network, and we are going to pay you to help us do it. That's how much we care about this.
Awesome. Awesome. And what is one piece of wisdom that you would like to provide to the community?
Oh, man, thanks for asking. What a great way to end this conversation. If you're out there in the community, I'm going to tell you this. You are loved. That's my piece of advice. Very simple. You are loved. You are a wonderful, You are a wonderful, wonderful creature. You've been wonderfully, wonderfully made, and you have value and purpose. The reason I bring this up is because this has been something that has been on my heart for kind of in the last couple of weeks or so. So it was really opportune that you brought this up. Is that we're living in this world where the social media of the day, there's just so much negativity going on, and I think it's really affecting people's health because they're stuck at home and they're stuck to their mobile devices or the computer, and all they're receiving is negativity, negativity, negativity. So my one piece of advice: do not forget that you are loved, you are valued, and you have purpose. What that is really up to you. But at the end of the day, you are a valuable asset to humanity. And I want to encourage everyone out there to be positive, to stay on it, to continue to have a positive attitude. And for those who are hustling and grinding, I guess the other thing would be don't quit. Don't quit. Many of my greatest successes of being a startup entrepreneur and operator have been simply due to the fact that I did not quit. It took me 9 years to get my first company acquired. So that's generally my baseline for any type of success. If you want success, you got to be willing to put 10 years into it.
I just wanted to add to that. I've just been really thinking about being loved and mental wellness a lot. I think we're going through hard times. Just know that you're loved.
Yeah, know that you're loved. Everyone out there, you have life-giving juice that you can provide to other people. You're valuable and you're loved. And please persevere, because trust me, it's going to get better. It always gets better.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak with you, Michelle. I hope we can do it again.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Bye bye.
Bye.